name is Cody Lachney. I'm 35 years old. I'm originally from Lawrenceville, Georgia, but I've been living in Charlotte with my mom since about 2004. So it's been a while. I've lived in North Carolina longer than I've lived in Georgia. So this is definitely my home. I love this place. You know, I live right by everything. The Panthers Stadium, and just everything you want is around here. I've gotten to meet some incredible people in my time living here. And yeah, there's really nowhere else that I'd rather be. I was born with spinal muscular atrophy type 2. And the doctors originally told my mom that I wouldn't live to see the age of 2 years old. And I'm 35 years old. So that just goes to show you can't tell me nothing. You know, I'm very hard-headed and stubborn. But, you know, I'm also the type of person where I live life one day at a time. I've been in this wheelchair my whole life. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I haven't had my own personal battles with my condition. I certainly have, and anybody telling you that they don't is probably not being genuine about it. But I do feel like this has provided me a platform to use the gifts that I was born with, my ability to advocate for myself, to be able to speak up, to communicate with people, and just be the type of person who can build camaraderie with people. You know, it's really sort of turned into my superpower. You know, life isn't easy. I have to find ways to accommodate things in a bunch of different manners, from transportation to living arrangements. You know, it has its own difficulties, but, you know, it's my cross to bear, and I understand that everything in life is for a reason, and I'm going to continue to present the best version of myself each and every day so that hopefully I can inspire someone else to continue to do the same thing no matter what they're going through. When I was a young kid who didn't know any better, when I was born in Georgia, I was born a Falcons fan, but they quickly broke my heart, and I said, yeah, I'm not this anymore at all. So then later, I pretty much wasn't into football for a very long time, but sometime around 2011, right before Cam Newton was drafted, I was in a Cats bus in the city of Charlotte, and the driver had the radio station playing, and they were talking about should the Carolina Panthers draft Cam Newton. And at the time, I didn't know who that was. I didn't know of Cam Newton, but I was going to college for simulation and video game design. And I went to my class and I looked up Cam Newton's Auburn highlights.
Just inside of midfield. Here's Cam on the fake, right up the middle, breaks the tackle.
At the 40, stays on his feet, 35-30, 25-20. Peterson, the one-man to beat. At the 5, he is in!
And dude, I was blown away. And I'm like, if the Panthers have the opportunity to draft this dude, I'm going to be a fan forever.
The Carolina Panthers select Cam Newton.
The Carolina Panthers drafted him #1 overall, and I've been on this rocky relationship with the Carolina Panthers ever since. It's been a bunch of ups and downs. That 2015 season was absolutely incredible.
Continue to run it. He's in for the touchdown. A record-setting year. He's picked again. Kuechly for the touchdown.
It really was some of the best football moments I've ever had in my life, just watching the Carolina Panthers and feeling the energy of that team at that time. It was incredible. Even though we've fallen on some hard times since then, I've learned that in order to be a true fan, you have to stick with them through the good, the bad, and all that in between. And I'm prepared to be a Panthers fan from now until the day I die. Panthers fan for life. Keep pounding, baby. Really now I've dedicated myself to being a full-time online presence, growing the podcast, and really trying to expand the C3 Legion. That's what I call my army of Panther fans that have started to follow the C3 Panthers Podcast through the Friday free-for-all that I've started. Wake up. Spacebar. Taylor Moton. Backspace. Taylor Moton. Welcome everybody to another edition of the C3 Friday Free-for-All. Fan Fest is upon us. We will be at Bank of America Stadium in less than 24 hours, seeing the Panthers practice for the first time in front of fans. It's going to be incredible. And we appreciate y'all spending each and every Friday afternoon with the C3 Panthers Podcast. First up, he's in a different surrounding, but you know we couldn't do the free-for-all without him. It's Panther Pickle. Pickle, what's up, brother?
What's up, folks? I'm at a hotel in the middle of Charlotte. And, of course, it storms.
You brought the rain with you, huh?
100 degrees weather all last week and probably the week before that. I come in, get ready for Fan Fest, be 78 degrees. What the hell, man? You know what? That's all right, though. We're going to keep pounding on the way to conquer the NFC South.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Next up, you know we got the man, Jake the Snake F. You back on the free-for-all. Jake, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, Cody. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. I'm so excited.
Man, it's an exciting time to be a Panther fan. You know, we're joined by Michael Wydrick. Michael, what's up, dude?
What's up, Cody? What's up, everybody? Glad to be on the Friday Free-for-all. And all I gotta say is, keep pounding.
Shout out to my partner, Tony Dunn. He founded it in 2013. And originally it was just a way for him and his friend Joe Riolano, who has since passed away, to maintain their friendship and be able to speak not only about Panthers football, but just to be able to keep in contact with one another. And around 2018, before the Panthers drafted DJ Moore, I was looking around online and I found a website called drafttech.com. And originally somebody by the name of Mel Mayock, he was the writer for the Panthers for drafttech.com, and he posted a link to the C3 Panthers podcast on their website. So I got to checking it out. Originally they would do, and we still do, the cat calls every Tuesday night where people can call into the show and leave a message for us and talk Panther football.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
And originally I would call into the show under the guise of the YouTube champion.
Tony Dunn, Mel Mayock, that's freaking Puerto Rican Joe Riolano. What's up, boys? You know what time it is. It's time for better know a potential Panthers draft pick. I'm the YouTube champion, Cody Lachney, and without further ado, let's get the ball rolling.
The night that the Panthers drafted DJ Moore in 2018, Tony had a bunch of fans come on the podcast, and I was one of them.
All right, here comes Roger.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
It's who?
Guys, this is the jersey.
Oh my God!
Is it DJ Moore?
It's DJ Moore.
Oh my goodness!
So I'll say this: if you look at what we have on the field right now, Curtis Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Devin Funchess, Torrey Smith, and now we have DJ Moore. If you think about it, that's a lot you have to account for.
And me and Tony hit it off in a big way that night. And the next Tuesday night, he said, I think I want Cody to be a part of this show full time. So yeah, for 7 years now, me and Tony and Greg and CK have really put forth a ton of effort to build the podcast and make it a place where Panther fans feel like they can come and be a part of a community of Panther fans, where they can have their voice heard, where there's no judgment about who they are, what they look like, what their original fandom is or was, and just to create this camaraderie built around C3 and around the Carolina Panthers. And I've taken a lot of pride in doing that, and it's been one of the best things in my life for the past more than a decade now. I've been a diehard UFC fan since I was 15 years old, and that was originally my sort of first love in my life. If my body permitted me to do it, I would have pursued a career in mixed martial arts, and really that was sort of the war that I fought with myself, because I have a body that wouldn't permit me to compete in that sport. However, now that I've been able to find a presence online, I feel like now and into the future, that's going to be what I do, continuing to build my online presence, growing the C3 Panthers Podcast, and maybe in the future branching off and doing some other creative things as well. But, you know, I'm a normal 35-year-old. I like to have a drink every once in a while, watch TV. Nothing really too much out of the ordinary, really.
People in a rush.
What you do,
Recently, I started working with the Friends Foundation here in Charlotte, and what they do is they give vehicles and other equipment to people with neurological disabilities or diseases of some sort, right? And I started working with them really the last year and a half, and I met Todd Dewey at a conference for Cure SMA, where they promote new drugs to help stave off the progression of diseases like spinal muscular atrophy, which is what I have. I met Todd Dewey, and I started doing events with the Friends Foundation. One of those events was I got to go to Quail Hollow Country Club, and I was sat at the table with Wesley Walls, former Panthers tight end, and he was just incredible, one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet in your life. And we got to talking, and I asked him if he would be kind enough to come on the podcast, and he did so, and we were able to do a really cool hour-and-a-half long interview with him. We got to pick his brain about what it was like playing professional football, playing with the Carolina Panthers, what he sees the future being for the Carolina Panthers and the players that they've drafted. He played with Dan Morgan, who is the Panthers general manager right now. So we got some really cool insights on Dan and who he is as a person and how he intends to build this team the right way. And it was just a really cool experience. And yeah, the Friends Foundation is awesome. And I definitely look forward to continue working with them in the future. I'm fortunate enough where I live right by the stadium. One of the things that I definitely do think that they could use more of is some protection for when you're out in the elements. You know, wheelchairs can't really afford to get wet. And, you know, especially when you're out in the sun for a long time, most wheelchairs are pitch black. So when you're sitting in a pitch black wheelchair, it gets pretty hot. You know, it's something that I do think that they could try to improve upon. I know that as they're making renovations to the stadium here soon, they have made it a pact to try to make it very friendly for people with disabilities, which I do think is a good thing. But overall, Bank of America Stadium is actually a really nice stadium. It's easily traversable. It's easy to get in and out of. I'm just excited to see what further changes they'll continue to make for people with all different types of disabilities. So a couple of years ago, I went to the Panthers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Christian McCaffrey was still on the team, And there's a very famous play of Christian McCaffrey jumping over the head of a defender and somersaulting into the end zone. I was right behind the end zone when that happened. I watched him do it in person. It was just an incredible moment. The stadium went freaking bananas. It was just a crazy moment to be a part of and see. When I was younger, I probably had some why me thoughts, but as I've gotten older, my mindset has become, why not me? There are people who have it far worse than I could ever have it. I still have the ability to talk. I have my sight. I can hear. You know, every day people have things that they take for granted. And yeah, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm physically disabled in a way that's very serious that a lot of people aren't. But, you know, there are people that don't know where their next meal is coming from. They don't have shelter over their head. There are people being bombed on a daily basis. So when all those things are in context, I think that I was given this opportunity to use my disability to not only grow as a person, but to see the world through a lens of non-judgment. That you might see someone who has an able body, but yet you don't know the mental trauma that they might be going through. So as I've gotten older, I don't have any sort of woe is me mindset of, you know, why is my body like this? It just is the way it is, and I've learned to focus on my strengths rather than dwell on my weaknesses. You know, I've had a wild relationship with spirituality my whole life, but I feel like as I've gotten older, the presence of a creator and spirit, I believe in it now more than ever. And I feel like when you see how tumultuous today's world is, there's so much division in all different aspects, you know, politically and race and religion. But I feel as though if you have a strong connection to your faith, that you're able to see through some of the worldly things and see people for people of God. And everyone has a spirit, and everybody has something that inexorably connects them to something much bigger and greater. And it helps me to remember, you know, when you see all different kinds of people, that you never really know what they're going through. So recognizing that we do have that one thing that does connect us, I think it's a very powerful thing. And I think going forward into the future, people are going to need more of it. And people are going to have to start to answer their own personal questions about their relationship with God and spirit and the universe. I know I've certainly had to.